Starting a new job can be nerve-wracking, and you'd think you'd be more excited than anything because I know just how hard you pushed to make that transition. In fact, I bet you were sitting at your old job like, I gotta get out of here. So accepting that offer letter probably felt amazing, but then you start thinking, did I oversell myself? Can I even do this job? What if I don't like my coworkers? What if they don't like me? And then the what ifs become so loud that they just rain all on your parade, and now you're worried and you're stressed. And I say stress with a K because that's a whole nother level of stress. My name is Eleanor, and I'm a life coach here to help you build the life you desire. And today, I'm going to cover some tips to help you alleviate anxiety and be confident in your new role. First off, it's okay to be nervous. You don't have to pretend otherwise. Starting anything new or different requires you to stretch, and anybody who's been to the gym for all of 5 minutes knows that stretching is uncomfortable. As a former personal trainer, I know the benefits of stretching, and I still don't like to do it. Look, if you're nervous, that means you care and you want to do well, and that's a good thing. Now you just need to turn that nervous energy into excitement. All energy can be transferred from negative to positive. It's just about your mindset and reframing. Scientists have discovered that the brain is like a computer, and the great thing about computers is that they can be reprogrammed. The hard part is not letting your brain get carried away. So stop the negative narrative that I know is looping in your mind and regain control. You tell your brain what to do, not the other way around. Tip number 2, tell your brain to remember that they hired you. Imposter syndrome creeps up when we're starting something new. It makes us feel unworthy. But I'm here to tell you, you're not an imposter. In fact, you need to pay close attention to this next part because this is very important for you to remember. This company, they didn't do you a favor by hiring you. This is not a pity hire. You applied and you got selected. So yes, be grateful and be humble. But do not feel indebted. A hire is an exchange of goods and services, and you are being employed because you have a skill set that they find useful. Even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't have all the exact skills to do the job perfectly on day one, that's okay. In fact, most companies hire so that a person can grow into the role. A good HR rep knows that hiring someone who's too experienced leads to higher turnover because that super experienced person is going to get bored after a while. It's like watching a movie they've already seen. So since companies hire for growth, then logically, it makes sense that learning curves are expected. So give yourself some grace. On average, it takes a company about 6 months to break even on their investment in a new hire. So don't even stress yourself or stress yourself about trying to make a life-changing impact in the first few weeks. Instead, just focus on being present, learn the systems, understand the culture, build camaraderie, and ask thoughtful questions. If you work hard on building a solid foundation, you will naturally shorten your learning curve anyway, which ultimately makes the company more money in the long run. Since there's a learning curve, then we can expect that eventually mistakes will happen. Look, this is inevitable. Even the most senior person in your company is bound to make a mistake at some point. Whether or not they tell you, that's up to them. But mistakes are definitely being made somewhere. And look, we are all humans being. Nothing about us is perfect. We are perfectly imperfect. Even our bodies are not perfectly symmetrical. But that's what makes us so unique and beautiful, right? So take your time on task, seek guidance when necessary, and when you finally make that mistake, look, don't be embarrassed. Accept accountability and learn how to correct it. Try your best to shrug it off because beating yourself up only makes you feel worse and unworthy. And quite frankly, you shouldn't even waste the energy. So let's recap. I want you to keep these 4 tips in mind as you start your new journey. It's okay to be nervous. Literally everyone there has had a first day, a first week, and a first month. You're not an imposter. They hired you for a reason. And as with every job, learning curves are to be expected, so give yourself some grace because mistakes will happen. Putting these tips into practice, it can take some time and repetition, but you can do it. And no matter what happens, when you start your first day, I want you to keep this close to heart. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Life is a series of lessons meant to challenge our growth, and you can do this. I make content like this to help other people in the way I wish somebody would have helped me. So don't be stingy, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. I hope you have an awesome first day at work and know that you are so worthy and deserving. Until next time, be well.